Well, welcome back to The Megan Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I want to talk about 6 tattoo styles, go into a little bit of history, where they came from, what inspires these styles, and what kind of tattoos you can see in these different styles. So just keep watching. The Megan Show. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not an expert tattoo historian. I'm just a person who loves tattoos, and I wanted to share a brief history about these styles. I got all my info online, and all credit for any images used goes to the tattoo artists. No tattoo style video would be complete without talking about American Traditional and Sailor Jerry. Norman Collins was born in 1911. He's from the counterculture days of the 1920s. He learned to tattoo while traveling all over the country by train. He was train hopping, doing stick and poke tattoos. He finally landed in Chicago and got a tattoo machine for the first time, learning from Gib Thomas. He later joined the Navy. You'll see ships a lot in Sailor Jerry tattoos. He settled in Hawaii, and that was really where he built his Sailor Jerry persona, right there on Honolulu's Hotel Street. He built his legacy there. You can see the timeline of his life and how he finally got to Hawaii and really built that Sailor Jerry aesthetic. American Traditional style is heavily influenced by Japanese style. We'll get into that in just a few minutes, but it really pulls from that saturated color, those bold lines from Japanese style into the American Traditional style. Key aspects of American Traditional tattoos are those bold black outlines, saturated color in a limited color palette. On Sailor Jerry's website, you can see explanations of classic tattoo designs like lady heads. I actually have one on my left thigh. I got just about a year and a half ago. The colors are super saturated. That outline has stayed up. Everything looks great still. I love the bright yellow rose she has and her stark black hair and the green and red. I love this tattoo, and this is just an example of some American Traditional lady heads. There's also those swallows, classic bird designs, skulls, anchors, hearts, and Lucky 13. American Traditional is still so popular in the mainstream now. I have several of my own. Lots of people you see will still have American Traditional tattoos from all ages. Bold will hold, that is the classic saying for traditional. A lot of tattoo artists first start out doing American Traditional. It's one of those fundamental building blocks that artists need to have in their toolkit. Moving right into Neo-Traditional, it is similar to American Traditional in some techniques like bold outlines, very saturated color, but it differs in it can take on a more illustrative approach, a more painterly approach, or more realistic, you could say. Neo-Traditional takes ideas from Art Deco and Art Nouveau of the late 1800s. You'll see lace and pearls. You'll also see a lot of nature and animal tattoos. And Neo-Traditional takes on a more detailed approach compared to American Traditional. Just side by side, you can see how Neotrad can go into a more detailed version of an animal compared to American Traditional has the more simplistic look. Neotrad also takes a lot of inspiration from Japanese, and that's the style we're going to talk about next. Japanese tattooing dates back to 5,000 years ago. Scientists have dug up bodies that they can see ink on their skin from many thousands of years ago, and I think that is so interesting and awesome. In traditional Japanese style, you will see a lot of nature scenes, dragons, and animals. You'll see bold and bright colors. There will be high contrast between the foreground and the background, and you'll often see those finger waves or clouds as the background. And everything in traditional Japanese has very specific rules to follow. So there is a lot of technicalities for Japanese tattooing. Moving on to black and gray tattoos, that's kind of a large umbrella. There's a lot of subcategories underneath black and gray, like fine line or blackout tattoos. Some say black and gray tattoos originated in the 70s and 80s in prisons where people made makeshift tattoo machines. You'll see classic symbols in black and gray like roses, clocks, lions. It should be pretty easy to find a tattoo artist who specializes in black and gray. There are so many artists that can do amazing tattoos in just black and gray with shading. You have to be so precise with doing the shading and putting line work in the right place for that image to really come to life. For people that aren't into color very much, getting just a black and gray tattoo might be easier for you. So there are lots of possibilities with black and gray. Realism. When you think of realism, you think of portraits. Lots of people have portrait tattoos. I don't have any personally, but there are so many super realistic portraits out there, or realistic animals or photography scenes. Realism goes in a lot of different ways. There's also a subcategory, micro-realism. I want to shout out Tony Lawson. He makes these incredible portraits that are just a couple of inches tall. I can't imagine the absolute precision and detail you have to have in such a tight area. Tattoo artists create a mapping of shadows, contour lines, and highlights in their tattoo stencil, so they know where to put the dark and light shades to really make that realistic portrait come to life. Styles can of course vary between artists, but the goal with realism is accuracy. Accuracy to that photo that that client has brought in of their grandmother that they really want a portrait of. So realism is all about that accuracy. The last style I want to touch on is New School. It really gained popularity in the 1990s from comic book art and graffiti and street art. New School is really defined by exaggerated proportions, saturated color, and bold outlines. This is in no way a comprehensive list. I just wanted to talk about a few main tattoo styles that you might think of when you are looking to get a tattoo. A couple of other ones that I didn't talk about were trash polka, ignorant style tattoos, and geometric. Which of these styles would you choose out of all the ones I mentioned? Do you have a favorite? Do you have some tattoos in these styles? Do you have tattoos of a lot of different styles? I'd be interested to find out. Leave your comment below. But if you stumbled across this video because you're unsure of which tattoo style you would want to get tattooed, I suggest you follow some artists in your area who have different specialties. Look up some different tattoo artists on Instagram and follow a lot of them. Follow a lot of different ones so you can get a feel for a lot of different tattoo designs. Once you've done your research, you may have a better handle on which style you would want to get tattooed. But I thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. And please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. New videos every Megan Monday. Thank you so much for watching The Megan Show. Bye.